यो चाहिँ चुनबाङको यहाँ हेर्नु सक्छ तपाईहरु कति जनाको त घरै छैन.
Massive flash flooding struck Sikkim, India, after heavy rains caused the sudden release of water from a dam. The torrential flooding washed away bridges, submerged vehicles, and caused immense destruction across the region. The flooding occurred along the Teesta River, which originates in the eastern Himalayas and flows through the Indian state of Sikkim before entering West Bengal and eventually joining the Brahmaputra River. The flooding was triggered by heavy rains, combined with the opening of gates at the 510-megawatt Teesta Low Dam project at Dikchu in Sikkim. As the gates were opened, the river swelled alarmingly fast, inundating low-lying areas in the towns of Singtam, Rangpo, and Ranipul. Footage from the scene shows the Teesta overflowing its banks, with muddy floodwaters racing through streets and fields, uprooting trees and dragging debris along with it. In the town of Singtam, a major bridge connecting the area to the rest of Sikkim collapsed under the force of the flash flood. The bridge known as Bailey Bridge snapped into two, with the middle portion washing away entirely. Several vehicles can be seen stranded amidst the debris, submerged up to their windows in the swirling floodwaters. The torrent also severely damaged the National Highway 10 that connects Sikkim to West Bengal. The highway at Teesta Bazaar in Singtam caved in after being pounded by the floodwaters gushing down from the mountains. Many vehicles were washed away as the road simply vanished under the water. The most horrifying scenes came from Rangpo town, where the river flows through a narrow valley. The rapidly rising waters submerged the busy town center within minutes, trapping many locals and visitors.
पुरा खोज्दैछ त्यहाँ मिसिन उ तल पल्टिरहेछ.
Buildings were filled with over 6 feet of water as people scrambled for higher ground. Some harrowing videos show people desperately trying to swim or wade through the chest-deep water flooding the main street and marketplace. Rescue operations were launched immediately but were severely hampered by roads being washed away or buried under landslides. The Indian Army deployed columns to the worst-hit towns of Singtam and Rangpo to evacuate stranded civilians and assist with relief efforts. However, rescue teams encountered huge difficulties navigating roads that had either collapsed or were blocked by fallen trees, boulders, and other debris dumped by the flash flood. Making matters worse, communication lines and electricity were down in most parts of the affected region. Phone lines were jammed as people tried to reach family members and emergency services. Power outage meant rescue teams had to rely on generator sets and other backup sources during their evacuation mission. With night setting in, the challenges increased manifold. Sadly, 23 Army personnel deployed for flood rescue were reported missing after a cloudburst triggered massive landslides that buried their temporary shelter near the India-China border. The soldiers were part of a 50-member Army patrol team staying near the line of actual control at Lamsang in Sikkim when the flash flood hit. While 27 people were rescued, the raging mudslide trapped the others inside their makeshift tents. Despite intense search operations, the missing soldiers could not be traced so far. In another tragic incident, 2 municipal workers were washed away in Rangpo while trying to clear an overflowing drain. Their bodies were later recovered from the Teesta River several miles downstream. A few locals traveling by car were also washed away near Singtam, though one woman managed to escape by climbing onto a concrete platform. Authorities issued emergency flood alerts for downstream regions in West Bengal as the discharged water surged through Teesta River. The Bengal districts of Darjeeling and Jalpaiguri were put on high alert, with people living close to the riverbanks advised to evacuate to avoid loss of life and property. The Teesta is no stranger to deadly floods. Every year during the monsoon months from June to September, heavy rainfall in the region swells the river beyond danger levels. But this recent flash flood took everyone by surprise through its sheer intensity and catastrophic impact. Locals recount how the water levels rose dangerously high within a very short period after the dam gates were opened. Heavy overnight rains in upstream areas of Sikkim had already left the soil saturated and rivers swollen. Release of excess water from the dam into the already flowing natural streams created a multiplier effect, turning the Teesta into a gushing, raging torrent. While dams are crucial infrastructure for generating clean electricity, regulating water flow, and preventing routine downstream floods, experts say the Dikchu Dam authorities may have miscalculated the rains and flood situation this time. Poor coordination between dam operators and local administration is being blamed for the lack of timely warnings. The flash flooding in Sikkim underscores the double-edged nature of dams and underlines the need for transparent dam management, especially during extreme weather events like cloudbursts. Climate change is making rainfall patterns more erratic, increasing instances of heavy cloudbursts as well as dry spells. Experts emphasize the importance of upgrading dam operation manuals and protocols to factor in climate risks. The dangerous Himalayan floods also highlight the vulnerability of hydropower projects and riparian communities along glacier-fed rivers. With climate change accelerating glacial melt, the risk of glacial lake outburst floods or GLOFs also rises. India and other Himalayan countries need to ramp up preparedness through early warning systems and community-based adaptation models. As Sikkim reels from this catastrophe, emergency teams are working round the clock to repair damaged roads, restore communication lines, and provide relief material to thousands of affected people. The state and central government have announced ex gratia payments for the deceased and injured as well. Immediate financial assistance for the displaced. But the road to recovery will be long and arduous for the people and economy of Sikkim unless long-term disaster resilience measures are put in place.
ड्याम पनि भर्खर भत्कायो अगाडिपट्टिको फ्रन्टपट्टिको ब्याङ्क यो जुन चाहिँ मान्छे हिँड्ने ब्रिज थियो त्यो भत्क्यो भर्खरै है यतापट्टि हेर्नुहोस् तपाईँले यहाँतिर हेर्नु